Pastor Ed here with Daily Devotions for Friday, September the 1st, 2023, brand new month. We continue our look at an abundant life. The reading for today is Luke 12, verses 13 to 21. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the family inheritance with me." But he said to him, "Friend, who set me to be a judge or arbiter over you?" And he said to him, "Take care. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions." And then he told him a parable. The land of a rich man produced abundantly, and he thought to himself, "What should I do? For I have no place to store my crops." And then he said, "I'll do this. I'll pull down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I'll say to my soul, 'Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this very night your life is being demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, whose will they be?' And so it is with those who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich toward God." Yesterday, I talked a little bit about a young couple that was so focused on the future and the fact that they were convinced that they were going to become wealthy and rich. And sadly, it did not work out for them. Well, our reading today tells a similar cautionary tale. Prompted by a question about a family inheritance, Jesus proceeded to tell them the parable about a rich fool who can't keep his eyes off the future either. When his land produces abundantly, all he can think about is building larger barns and then being able to relax, eat, drink, and be merry. But then this rich fool who has lost touch with the present because he's so focused on anticipating the future suddenly dies. And God says to him, "All those things that you've prepared, whose will they be now?" Jesus' point in telling the story is crystal clear. One's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. Moreover, I would add, one's life does not consist of our dreams about the future either. The following once made the rounds of emails. It goes like this: "We convince ourselves that life will be better after we get married, have a baby, then another. And then we're frustrated that the kids aren't old enough and we'll be content when they are. And after that, we're frustrated that we have teenagers to deal with. We'll certainly be happy when they're out of that stage. We tell ourselves that our life will be complete when our spouse gets his or her act together, when we get a nicer car, when we are able to go on a nice vacation, or when we retire. The truth is, there's no better time to be content than right now. Treasure every moment that you have. So stop waiting until your car or home is paid off, until you get a new car or home, until your kids leave the house, until you go back to school, until you finish school, until you lose 10 pounds, until you gain 10 pounds, until you have kids, until you retire, until summer, until spring, until winter, until fall, until you die. There's no better time than right now, for life is a journey, not a destination." James Dobson once told the following story. When my daughter, Danae, was a teenager, she came home one day and said, "Hey, Dad, there's a great new game out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's called Monopoly." I just smiled, he said. We gathered the family together and set up the board, and it didn't take the kids long to figure out that old Dad had played this game before. And I soon owned all the best properties, including Boardwalk and Park Place. I even had Baltic and Mediterranean. My kids were squirming, and I was loving every minute of it. About midnight, I foreclosed on the last property and did a little victory dance. My family wasn't impressed. They went to bed and made me put the game away by myself. As I began putting all my money back in the box, a very empty feeling came over me. Everything I had accumulated was gone. The excitement over riches was just an illusion. And then it occurred to me, hey, this isn't just a game of Monopoly that has caught my attention. This is the game of life. You sweat and strain to get ahead, but then one day, after a little chest pain or a wrong change of lanes on the freeway, the game ends. It all goes back in the box. You leave this world just as naked as the day you came into it. I once saw a bumper sticker, said Dobson, that proclaimed, "He who dies with the most toys wins." That's wrong. It should say, "He who dies with the most toys dies anyway." In other words, an abundant life, the abundant life promised by Jesus, is not somewhere far off in the future when everything's going to be perfect in our lives. Our lives are never going to be perfect, not in this world at least. Instead, an abundant life is living fully in the present, enjoying the blessings of each new moment, each new day, each new season or stage of our life as they occur. Just as we heard that God's forgiveness in Jesus Christ sets us free from past mistakes in order to enjoy the present, it's also true that God wants us to leave the future alone as well and to cherish the here and now. For the present time is the abundant life if lived in faith. Margaret Storm Jameson, the English author, once expressed the view that we all spend too much time living in the past, feeling regret for lost joys or shame for things badly done. Even when our minds turn to the future, she said, we spend an inordinate amount of time longing for it or dreading it. The only way to live, she said, is to accept each minute as an unrepeatable miracle. Work at your play at your work, shed your tears, enjoy your laughter. Now is the time of your life. The abundant life. It's about living in the present, not the past or the future. Well, tomorrow we're going to pick up with the final piece of this Abundant Life daily devotion series, I guess you would call it. So hope you can join me for that as we begin to wrap up this series of devotions over the past number of weeks now. Till then, take care. Have a great day today. We'll see you then. Bye.